Rockin' and shocking.
And what's up, hockey fans? And welcome to episode number 60 of Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast. 60 episodes in. I can't believe it. We're old. Anyways, I'm Scott Kimball, and I got to tell you something. We have got an awesome show lined up for you guys tonight. This guest is just, the guy is wild. He's awesome, and we can't wait to get going. But first, I'm going to bring in my co-host for tonight, my shotgun rider, if you will, my partner in crime, whatever it is you want to call it. He is the Macho Dom. It's Dom Real. What's up, buddy?
Hey, yo. What's going on, guys?
Well, that
super
was
hyped for this
Razor
episode.
Ramon.
Listen, Chico, I love Razor. I got his autograph right behind me.
Really?
Big fan.
Oh,
Yeah. I got this. It's a NWO mini helmet autographed by Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
We were
I got it
about
at Hall of Fame. Shout out Yorkville, New York. Big Razor guy. But yeah, no, this is gonna be a fun one. I got the Comets playing right now. My Rangers are playing the Leafs, just starting right now. Big night for hockey. So
I'll
you
tell
get
you
bored
what.
during intermission, pop in with us.
You keep track of the Ranger game. I'll keep watching the Comets game here on the other TV, and we'll be having live updates throughout the game. How's that sound?
Yeah, keep track of that because I want to know what's going on. We'll get into it. Obviously, we'll talk a little Comets, but anyway.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, so we're gonna bring in our guest. Our guest, like I said, super cool guy. I mean, I know I play pickup hockey with him, or not pickup hockey, or Clinton League hockey. Well, he's much better than I am, but I try to keep up with him is basically what it is. Because you know what? The guy plays professional football, and some broken down old punk like me ain't keeping up with him. But anyways, he is a professional football player, quarterback, as a matter of fact, and he's a big-time hockey enthusiast. I want to bring him in, Mr. Brad Jones. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you? What's going
There
on,
he
fellas?
is.
Thanks for having me on. Dom,
thanks
feels
for
good
coming
to
on.
get back in the saddle.
Yes,
Like
sir.
we used to running around, but finally got on, Scotty. It's been a long time coming.
I know we've been talking about this for a while, and you guys, you used to do Real Talk together.
Yep, used to be the co-host to the co-host.
The
The co-hostess with the mostest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Co-host
You know how I
is
am.
Yeah.
Yeah, as easy as it is to host a show with a professional freaking athlete.
Yeah,
I mean, you carried the reins really well. I was just there to
That's right.
be ridiculous, and it worked out
Incredible
pretty well.
hockey mind, which is awesome. Get it. We're gonna touch base quite a bit with the international game, which I'm really looking forward to. I feel like it's kind of starting to blow up over the last couple of years to see you rocking the Slove jersey, which is sweet.
I wore this one right
Yeah.
for Scotty because it's the Anze Kopitar.
Yeah,
I'm going
buddy.
to tell you something. There's a story behind this. So the first time I met Brad was at a pickup game, actually, up at the Clinton Arena. And I come skating out in the ice, and I just see this Kopitar number 11, and I'm like, wow, that's damn. I says, I've never seen a Slovenia jersey, let alone a Kopitar. I'm like, I got to go introduce myself to this guy because this is awesome, right? I go skating up, I'm like, dude, nice jersey, And we got talking, and that's how it all took off from there. So, and it's a super sweet jersey, dude. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, aside from all the Blues jerseys I own, this is my favorite non-Blues jersey by far, especially because I got it in Slovenia. So it got it right in Lake Blood, one of Anze's frequented cities.
Lake Blood. That is awesome.
Lake Blood, yeah, it's one of the sickest cities I've ever been to.
Oh, I thought you said
Imagine.
blood.
Yeah, pretty much. You bled, it's just past tense.
The
awesome.
lake isn't red, is it? By chance?
No, I wish it was just so they could have that little je ne sais quoi, but it's still fantastic. There's a castle in the middle, or a church in the middle of this lake. You go up 100 steps just to get up.
Really?
To it. It's pretty.
That's
Yeah,
so
you can only get there by
typical.
boat. I know.
So typical, dude. That's awesome.
It sounds like something that could only happen in a movie,
Literally, it looks like a movie scene. You go there and it looks like I call it Old Forge on steroids.
Nice.
That's
But
for
perspective
the,
locally.
for the locals, that's what I call it.
Yeah,
Well,
I was gonna say,
dude.
is there any deer walking around the streets or what?
Well, Scotty, I don't know how
They got
familiar you are
roosters
with this
running
dude's
around.
story. The more you get into it, the more it's like a movie. I remember talking to him because, obviously I've known Jonesy since high school, but you get talking, it's like, yeah, you play football internationally, and it's like, all right, cool. And you get into it, it's like, yeah, and I did this. Like, what? And this also happened. Excuse me? Then it just goes on for days. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, you never know what turn it's going to take, and whichever one it is, I'm always ready to go with it. You know me. I
right.
just go with the literal flow as it is.
Should have thrown into the introduction an ex-professional baseball player also.
Oh yeah.
Did sample that in Australia. A little bit of something.
Yeah,
Never ends.
you know what it is? He's like the sports buffet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whenever he feels like trying, I'm just gonna,
Yeah, he's got the lettuce. He's the salad bar.
Yeah.
Of course.
Brad, how'd the professional football start?
Well, abruptly, like long story short, I went to England for grad school and I got a scholarship to play there. So I did
Not a
that,
big
played there, went to like an Ivy League school of the world. Not a big deal. Not saying I'm highly educated or anything.
What school is that, Jonesy?
Durham University.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's like the
Quick plug. No
it's like
free
the Princeton of England, not
Right.
a big deal.
Right.
But did that, and then as soon as that season finished, when I came home, I didn't realize there was still a lot more football out in Europe, and I had a team from Warsaw, Poland reach out. I talked to a team in Serbia and then one in southern Germany, but this team in Warsaw was like, hey, we like what we see out of you. You've obviously been overseas before. What do you say about coming over and playing for some money? Playing some pro. And I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? What more do I got to do just to get over there? He goes, well, you got to leave in 2 days.
Yeah.
Cool. So I was like, when's our first game? He's like, yeah, about 10 days. I go, screw it, let's do this. I mean, I'm not really in shape, but I know my arm will still work when I get out there.
Right.
That's all.
I got nothing going on, right? I'll just hop in. Whatever.
I was working at like WB Mason just to kill time, and I go in there, my boss, and I go, hey boss, I got some bad news. And he's like, he's loving me because I'm working my way up the sales ladder. And he's like, what's wrong? What's going on? I go, I'm moving to Poland. And he's like, he thinks
Poland,
I'm like,
New York.
He's like, oh dude, it's fine. You can still cover like your Rome territory. I'm like, no, I don't think I can. I don't think you understand. I mean, Warsaw, Poland. Like I'm going over an ocean and I'm like doing a layover in Russia in like 2 days. So
it'll be 12 time zones away.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, it's in 2 days.
Yeah. I go, yeah. And to add insult to injury, I got to leave like in 2 days. So sorry. I guess here's the company phone back.
Oh,
that's cool though. You know what? People don't realize, including myself, just that professional or American football is growing in Europe. I mean, there's that many professional leagues over there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know how many people remember, but when you used to play Madden back in like the Madden '99 and 2000, they had the NFL Europe teams you could play with.
Yeah.
So a lot of those teams actually still exist. They just play in there. Yeah. See, there you go.
Shout out to the
Is that the Rain Fire?
Yeah. The Birmingham. Who was this? I don't know. I found it going through my old cards the other day. I got all these Pro Set World League football cards.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually
early '90s.
I'm old enough to remember the World League of American Football.
Yeah. So like all of those teams, or not all of them, but a lot of those teams still exist. They just play, instead of it being NFL Europe, a lot of them play in their country leagues now, or they just had this brand new league, the European League of Football, which is getting some of the originals back. So like the Frankfurt Universe and Galaxy.
Yeah.
So they're back. The Barcelona Dragons are back. All those teams are making a comeback. And then you look outside of the biggest league, and then there's league after league after league in just their own separate countries. So, I mean, I'll be playing in the top level in the Czech Republic, or Czechia, as I think they're going by nowadays too. So, I mean, I didn't realize I think there's 10 to 15 teams in this one league alone, and it's split east and west. Some leagues have like 30 teams.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, like the German leagues are deep. They got some depth in those leagues. I mean, the top division, there's, I think, 16 and 16.
No kidding.
Or like something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of teams. And then they have the second and third divisions, which are just as big. I mean, if not bigger, because there's so many, how it is with lower level teams. It's easier to have more of them.
Right. Sure.
And so a lot of them in Germany, those leagues are, you can win every single game and not move up. That's how many teams are there.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
That's sick. No, and shout out, what's your name? Your buddy's name, Brian, right? Shout out to him.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Instagram page.
Brian Casey. Yep.
Touchdown Europe. Scotty's got a whole Instagram page. It's a couple thousand followers already so far. Just it's crazy how much there is. All this European football, dude. It's actually awesome.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I didn't realize it was as big as it was till because I follow all of Jones's teams. So like I'll pop in like whenever they have highlights or live streams or whatever. I'm like, holy crap! Like this is like a big deal. It's awesome.
So Jonesy, is the rules over there a little bit? Like I know of like CFL, right? The field is larger, but there's only 3 downs, and you can run up to the line of scrimmage. The receivers. Is it anything different over in Europe as opposed to American football, or?
In most leagues, it's college rules, like our college rules in the U.S., not up in Canada. The one league that I think they might do NFL style, with like 2 feet in bounds and things like that.
Right.
Fields are generally the same length. Some of the times actually it gets cut by about 5-10 yards because they're soccer fields that get goalposts moved in.
Right.
So the actual soccer field isn't exactly 120; it's a little bit less. So on one of the fields I played in Switzerland, it went from 50 to 40. There was no 45s on either side.
Oh, wow.
So,
interesting.
I mean, it shortens drives, but it also harms the stats, which I don't really like. I want that extra 5 yards to throw for.
Right. It's awesome.
Got to pad the totals. Come on, man.
Listen, I can't be getting cut short 10 yards every drive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, it adds up, right?
Listen, those are bargaining chips after the season ends. Hey, I threw for this money, and the field was shorter, so it's slightly more impressive.
Yeah, you're like, I should have threw for 400 yards this game, but it was like 360.
I got docked about 60 yards this game. Not a big deal.
If Kurt Warner can go from bagging groceries to winning the Super Bowl, then damn it, so can you, Jonesy.
Listen,
you're not bagging groceries.
No, I'm selling liquor.
Yeah, there you go.
Better.
Shout out City Liquors.
Yeah.
Shout out City Liquors.
Quick plug.
Now, wouldn't that make an awesome NFL film story?
Just slinging Hennessy and Pink Whitney by day, and then 3 months later,
then it transforms into a football in the montage.
That would be awesome,
dude. If you did that with all your jobs you've done, and when you're home, like working at the gym or like substitute teaching,
substitute teaching, like sales, City Liquors, I'd be throwing a kid, and it would turn into a football at some point.
Right. Handing someone back a test, and then it turns into like a little read option. It's a read option.
It's the pitch.
Dude, it's sick. Awesome. Working the golf games.
Ronnie Baskin. Listen, let's not get into that just yet. Just got back from a 4-day trip.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bud. It was nasty out here while you're gone.
Well, it's timed perfectly, if you ask me.
Yeah, right. Well,
I should say.
Well, So listen, we're a hockey show. So let's talk a little bit about some hockey here.
Let's do it.
How'd you get into that? To start, I guess.
You know what? I actually got to the game real late. My
being
dad's
a natural beautician.
Well, I mean, yeah. If I knew that at the youth that I was growing up, then who knows where I'd be right now? I probably wouldn't be playing football. But
right.
You know what I mean? Like I definitely would have played for the Comets for a stretch there during the end of my career, which is probably winding down in the next couple of years. But no, I got to hockey pretty late. My dad's an Islander fan, and obviously during my youth, they were really bad. Like there was just nothing to watch. They had the DPH years and stuff. So I actually was watching a game one night. I think I had to be the Blues, and I think it was like the Red Wings. Like back when it was heated with Pronger and all those guys. And Pronger, I remember it vividly. Him and Kachuk. Pronger crushed somebody, scored like a 100-mile-an-hour slap shot, and then they won the game. And I was like, this team is sick, and I love the jerseys. So I started following the Blues, and then my buddies actually, Scotty, you both probably know Sal Carollo and Brad Stafford, like those guys.
Yeah.
They grew up in my neighborhood, so we played street hockey. As long as humanly possible, like every day till the lights went out.
Sal's a big Devils kid, ain't he?
He's a big Devils fan. Yeah, Brad's a big Avs fan. So we would play in the street forever, and then I think I was like 18 or 19. They're like, "Hey, you want to throw on some skates?" Because I've never ice skated before.
Yeah. So
I was like 19, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, screw it, let's do it." And I didn't realize how hard it really was to stand on two blades and like understand the physics to it all. I was like, dude, this is impossible. I got out there and I'm like moving around. I don't think I learned how to stop for like a year. I just kept crushing into the boards like the kid from Mighty Ducks.
Just run into things. That's all.
I still haven't learned how to stop.
I can fly down the ice, and then I'll just be like, screw it. If I don't score, I'm just going in the boards.
Right.
So then I started playing, and then
what was his name? We talked about him one night. What is the kid's name?
Is it Rodriguez?
Something like that. I gotta Google it. Keep proceed.
But we would go to like skate and shoot every Saturday morning at Whitestown, and Saturday Sunday we would just skate endlessly, and they would help me out how to play, and then they turned into playing into pickups 2 or 3 times a week, and then finally being of age to join the B League, and I was like, all right, let's play some organized hockey for the first time, and now sitting here probably, I think this is my 4th, 5th season, just 2 points a game and having a grand old time.
Not a big deal.
Mendoza,
by the way.
I had to plug that.
See, and it makes me feel real great because I get like 2 points a year. Thanks, man.
and on the previously undefeated team, my team finally lost because I wasn't there. I'm not saying because of me, but
right, it didn't help.
That's right.
Not saying it.
It reels you in just a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. It just makes
good.
my ego shrink just a tad.
What Jonesy, that's like a perfect, not that, it's not off topic, but it's similar. I know a lot of the people that watch this and listen are like either hockey parents or aspiring hockey parents. If you want your kid to play hockey, put them on skates immediately. Because Jonesy is a massive, like a legitimate freak natural athlete and had to learn how to skate. You got to teach them when they're fearless, like when they're 4 years old and don't mind falling down. Like you got to get them on skates. That's why I can't turn or stop now, because I know I can get severely injured.
That's the thing, dude. I can remember when I was learning how to skate with those guys, and they're like, all right, try this like an S curve or a C turn and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, if I fall and break my elbow, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like this ice is hard.
It's so hard, dude.
Like it's really hard, dude. Like I'd rather be hit by like that 260-pound like defensive end that's coming in hot, because I at least know what that feels like. This shit's gonna hurt.
It gives you,
and it freaking hurt. It humbles you very quickly.
Well, it gives you a perspective, right? Like you see, like you hear, oh man, like his shift's been 2 minutes long. You're like 2 minutes, that's it. But like then you get on skates, you're like, oh wow, 2 minutes is an eternity.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like Scotty, we play some of those pickup nights, so there's only one guy on the bench. It's like,
it's
dude,
horrible.
I've been skating for 45 minutes. I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
And then the worst part is you finally get to go for a line change, and like 30 seconds later, there's somebody who's dying. Go, please.
Yeah, the next guy's passing out.
Let me sit up. Like,
right.
Dude, I just regained consciousness. Wait, give me a minute.
That's the thing. I think couple Fridays ago at Morosky, I was like, I looked down at my Apple Watch. I burned like 1,200 calories because I got off the ice for 3 total minutes out of 55. Like,
dude, that's why I want to get into playing, is just to burn all those calories, dude. Like,
dude, I earned those calories right there.
It's like the coach in Letterkenny says, selfish hockey.
Yeah.
3 minute shifts, 4 minutes even. Just skate the blue line to catch your breath. Who needs a shift change?
That's what I did. I hung out by the goalie. I was like, all right, dude, I got to catch my breath. See if I can't let up another 2-on-1 for you.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
man. Brutal.
Oh, that's cool, though. So, obviously, you're a Blues fan. You told us that.
Yep.
And that's a pretty funny story. And I do have to say, when you started off, they played the Islanders, and back then they were, and in my head, I'm thinking, good, because I'm 47 years old. When I was young, they were good, right?
Right, the 80s, they didn't lose.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
wait a minute. He's like about 25 years younger than I am. So. But and I know you mentioned Pronger and Tkachuk. Who are some of your other favorite players?
I mean, I probably would say my favorite player of all time is TJ Oshie. I mean,
Nice.
I love Osh. I love him more than many other people in the world.
I think it's this one.
Yeah, I got the USA Oshie jersey. I love him. I used to love David Backes, and then
Nice.
one of the unsung heroes was actually a Slovak, was Roman Polak.
Oh yeah.
So one of the memories I have is in college. I was watching the Sharks and Blues game. I think it was just about getting into the playoffs, and Roman Polak beat the absolute shit out of Justin Braun.
Wow.
The guy that used to play for the Sharks. And I was like, man, I think I love this guy. And he's just mean all the time. I don't think he ever smiled. So I really liked him.
Big
like Tarasenko is my favorite player now. I mean, despite him wanting to leave earlier in the year.
I think he wants to now, though.
No, I don't. I mean, he's playing too well to leave. I love him. I was heartbroken when Pietrangelo left. He's one of my favorite players.
That's tough.
And Dom will remember Andy McDonald. He's one of the guys. Just this little guy with a ton of gumption just flying around. I mean, I could go on for days because there hasn't been a player on the team that I haven't liked. I think there's some guys that you get in your roster and like, God, I hate this guy. I haven't had that yet.
Jonesy was torn up when they traded their backup goalie. When you traded Jake Allen, you were pissed, dude.
I was, dude. Listen, there is something to be said about a 2-goalie system. Okay,
I agree.
You can't. I look at the Oilers. They didn't even got one. You know what I mean? So when Jake Allen got traded for pennies, I was like, dude, I don't know about that. I don't really like it. Yeah. And I get connected to all these guys because it's like I watch we watch 82 games a year, and we live and die with every single one of them. 80-12 for some of us plus. Yeah. But like, so I think my Mount Rushmore would probably be Oshie, Pronger, Big Walt, and Tarasenko with an honorable mention to Backes.
Pronger numbers just went up in the rafters.
Yeah, dude, it was sick.
Cool.
He crushed the beer.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He's
awesome. What a legend, dude. Absolute beauty. But, dude, you brought up a good point, Scott, that I kind of
I wish.
What was that?
Too young for Holly.
Yeah.
He was a star by the time I got into hockey.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
Foot in the crease.
Yeah, I was going to
He's
say
a-
breaking Sabres hearts fans
Suck at
everywhere.
Sabres fans.
He was a star, and then dude, I swear to God, do you know who I'm about to reference right now, Scott?
Who
Oh,
you?
And then he wrapped it up with friend of the show, Mark Myers in Detroit.
oh
The 6 degrees of
Myers.
Myers will
Yes.
never end on this show. It
Love that
always
guy.
brings it back to him somehow. I don't know.
Guy's the man.
Dude, yeah. Well, Jonesy, you brought up a good point just to kind of touch base a little on Comets hockey just for the sake of why not. But Scott, he brought up how important it is having 2 goalies. How did the Comets have all year? We had 2 of the top 5 goalies in the league. Lost both of them, and what happened? The wheels came off, boys and girls.
Look what happened? Yeah, exactly.
It's brutal.
I mean, they're back now, but it's
Right,
still going to
right.
take a while to get used, back in the swing of things too.
Jonesy, since we're on the topic, we'll talk some Blues hockey really quick. Obviously, I don't want to shy away too far from your story, but since they've lost Allen, do you think there's been a difference in Binghamton's play at all, or do you think that was just doesn't matter because he's just a head case?
Well, we don't have a goalie named Binghamton. It's Binghamton.
You know what I mean.
I was waiting for that.
I had to do it. No, it's you know what? It's funny because he had a lull last year, and I want to say it's a little bit of a Stanley Cup hangover,
Yeah,
in the
sure.
COVID protocols and having to live a whole different life. And he is he's nuts. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He's crazy. But
Oh yeah.
I love that about him. Firstly,
You mean like Nate
But-
McKinnon crazy, or?
I don't think
No,
he's
I
like.
think he's
a
Ivan
different kind of
Kovalkov
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
He's like smash the stick across your throat, kind of like crazy.
Yeah,
Which again,
like-
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Honorable
But-
mention to the name of the show, crazy.
Yeah, very So no, I think the departure of Allen got him a little comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say for a sec, but what's happened is when he doesn't perform well, he hears it,
Mhm.
Right.
and he pays a lot of it. Like, some people shut it out. They don't listen to what's going on. He listens to what people say, and it pisses him off even more. And he's come back. He's bounced back. He's been playing really well. And then, they have Ville Husso, who nobody knows about, but he's been hot. He
Right.
picked up another W the other night. So, all it takes is one young goaltender to really push you and put you on your heels. And I think that's happened. And now they've gotten back to good hockey.
For sure. Absolutely.
Well, they've always played that physical brand too. That that
Yeah,
smash
that
mouth
Brody.
in your face. But speaking of the Blues, I might as well ask you. When you're in the locker room getting pumped up for a big game, be it football, hockey, whatever, do you listen to Gloria?
Yeah. So Dom knows when they won the cup, I was in Switzerland at the time.
This is Scott. This is gold. This is gold.
So
This
I
is
was
so good.
I was in Switzerland, and so it's a 6-hour time difference. And
Right.
in the Stanley Cup, the game's starting at 8 p.m. here. Well, that's 3 a.m. for me over there. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Or like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. By the time
Right.
it starts, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna be like the longest 14 days of my life. And now I've already been doing it with playing the Sharks the week prior, and that's
Right.
a 10 o'clock start game, so it's 4 a.m. I'm like, dude,
The stress of that series.
I'd come home from practice at like 10 o'clock at night. I'd sleep till like 1 a.m., wake up, crush 2 Red Bulls, and just watch the game. And like when they got in the finals, I was screaming at the top of my lungs at like 4 o'clock in the morning with windows open. The people of Luzerne, Switzerland know who won the cup that year. I can promise you that. Because I was a nut job. I was like the same. I buy a yellow Red Bull and a blue Red Bull, and I drink them throughout the game just to stay alive. And then when they played the Bruins, I got rid of the yellow and I inserted the white just to get all the bad juju.
Yeah, you
out.
don't want to. You got to get it out. Gotta get it out.
So that was insane, and it was like I don't know. As soon as Gloria became the anthem, I'm sitting there blaring it at 5 o'clock in the morning. My roommates are like, "Dude, it's a good song, but can you please turn it off?"
You gotta
Really?
stop, dude. That was like kind of because me, we obviously knew each other in high school, and like we ran into each other ever since, like here and there, like as you do in passing. But like that playoff, like those playoffs, like kind of like reinvigorated our friendship. Because I would see you on Instagram. I get because we used to talk. Jonesy's a Mets fan too, guy. So we like talk Mets sadness all the time on like Twitter and Instagram for the past 10 years. And then watching him in the playoffs, like, dude, this guy. I turned to look at Smith. I go, this kid's crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, he's just like 4 a.m. over there. He's going insane. He's screaming at his Instagram about an illegal hand pass. Just going nuts.
Oh,
like,
dude, don't even get me going.
Dude, it's just wild. It was crazy. I mean, it was
Did the
insane.
Swiss police ever show up at your house?
Oh,
No, but I think my neighbor upstairs, she told my landlord at one point, she's like, they're very loud at night. And I was like, hey, listen,
it's the cup.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know how to translate this into German, but you better tell her it's the cup. Okay. And I'm not going to be every other night. I'm going to be going crazy and she's just going to have to find somewhere else to stay. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
That's basically how I approach that.
I know. We definitely talked about this on the other show, but like I don't know if I ever told you this story. So me and Samantha had just started, like, we met at a hockey game, right? So like hockey is like the baron,
catalyst.
like the catalyst of our entire relationship. And I'm talking like I'm pulling for the Blues because Jonesy's my boy, blah blah blah. I didn't really care. I don't have an investment in this. And she came over to watch Game 7. She's like, "Who do you think's gonna win?" I go, "Man, Jonesy's gonna be heartbroken if he heard me say this, but you do not go into Boston Game 7 and win. Like, it just doesn't happen." And she goes, "I think it's going to be whatever the final score was, like 4-1 or whatever." She called it right on the money and just looked at it. I go, "How did you do that?" Like, there's no way you predict a score like that in Boston Game 7.
She felt my energy.
Yeah, all the way from loser in Switzerland.
I willed the boys for that victory.
All the way from loser in Switzerland.
That was all me.
Speaking of the devil, popping in, smiling. Yeah. That was the most disturbing thing ever. And then she did it like 4 more times, like over the course of the past couple of years. It's terrifying. Oh my God. But yeah, dude, that was wild. I don't want to embarrass you. My boy was emotional on Instagram when they closed it out.
Oh, dude, I was.
Well, you gotta be.
Listen, Dom.
You gotta be.
Listen, Scotty. Dom knows I'm a Mets fan. Okay, I haven't had a thing to be happy about in like basically 29 years of living. All right,
that's why I need a Rangers one so bad, dude.
So, and then wait, let's make it worse. I'm a Dolphins fan in football. Okay,
yeah,
they're a literal clown organization. I couldn't hate them more than I do right now. My fandom actually is probably like up for bidding. If anybody wants to bid on me joining their fandom, because I've about had enough. So when the Blues win a cup, it's the only joy I've had basically in my entire sports life, aside from like 03, like Syracuse basketball, you know?
Right.
So like I was so overcome with emotions. I felt like I had played in the series because I was so tired after every game.
Yeah.
And then when they won, I was like, dude, I'm gonna I didn't know what to do. I didn't sleep for 3 days after.
Well, it's crazy because I mean I'm a Kings fan and I know exactly like when in 12 when they won, when they beat New Jersey, and it was not gonna lie to you, I went on a bender after Game 6. I mean I was celebrating. Woo! We did it. We finally did it out there. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, doesn't my phone ring at like 6 o'clock in the morning going, "Oh, hey, by the way, such and such banged in. You're up for work. So we'll see you in an hour."
Yeah, no.
Oh, you want to talk like totally anticlimactic, right?
Oh.
That's my worst nightmare right there.
And then, of course, in the 14 Cup, Dom, I don't know if I ever told you, me and Gump almost got into a fist fight during Game 2 of that controversial Dwight King goal.
Oh, yeah.
Where they say, you interfered with Lundqvist. Of course, once again, beers were involved with that one, too. And, oh, my God, it was awful.
Yeah. So Scotty,
you want interference? I'll give you interference.
Because I'm just preparing. I'm living vicariously through you guys because like Jonesy, you obviously experienced it. I kind of felt like I experienced it with you through Instagram. Scott, so for you guys to finally win it was it 11-12? You said that was the first one because you guys were close.
Right,
was it 92? Yeah, 93. Yeah.
Marty's a legal stick. Come on.
Yes. And then wasn't there another year you guys were close to though? I could have swore there was, or is that the first one?
Well, that was the first time they made it to the finals.
Right.
So it was really a long drought.
Right.
And,
so because my last time I was close, you ruined it for me. So.
Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes things got to be done. Yeah.
Right.
Had to happen.
That 93 one hurt because I mean, obviously I was 21, 20 or 21, something like that at the time.
Oh,
and the Kings were so dominant in that Game 1 against Montreal. It's like, oh, here we go, right? And they were killing them in Game 2, really, just dominating that game. And then it just kind of slipped away at the end. And it's like, well, all right, so the series is tied, not bad. Coming out of the Montreal Forum, the series tied 1-1. Going back to LA for 3. And then Patrick Waugh and that damn wink. I see that wink in my nightmares. I've never forgiven Patrick Waugh for that, ever. That is
as you shouldn't.
No, never. Just can't let it go.
No.
Oh man, dude, that's awesome. It's funny you mentioned it. I know Jonesy, you'll appreciate this because like I don't like to get into what I do for a living, but we play trivia on the phone all day. And and we go in order of people who get questions, and one of the questions was who was the Stanley Cup goaltending winner in 1993. and it wasn't my answer, but I'm the only one who's a hockey fan. And I'm on mute screaming, Patrick Waugh! It's Patrick Waugh! It was like, I have no idea. Wayne Gretzky. I go, that's not even a goalie. I was like furious, just so mad. Screaming, it's Patrick Waugh! Like,
oh, that's great. That is awesome.
Dude, that drives me nuts, man. It's so funny. But yeah.
So Jonesy, playing pro football over in Europe, I'm sure you got to some hockey games over there as well.
I did. So I went to a couple Swiss games out there, and I went to the finals, like one of the games in the Swiss Cup finals in Zug for this team called EVZ, and they were playing Bern, where I think that's where
rule.
So that's where Zach Boychuk was that year.
Shout out our boy Zach Boychuk.
Shout out our boy Zach Boychuk.
He's a cryptocurrency guy now.
Yeah, he's a freak.
You know Zach Boychuk?
I know he is.
He follows everyone on Twitter.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
Including everyone on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he followed me. I messaged him like once way back in the day, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Dude, I tried to get him on the show.
Yeah, he big leagued us for a guy that's a crypto.
No, he wanted us to pay him. Like, what?
Dude, yeah, right.
Bro, send merch. What do you mean?
Yeah, dude, give me a 100,000,000th of a Bitcoin, and then we're in. How about that?
Yeah.
What?
But
here, I got a new Bitcoin I just invented. I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Dude, you post shirtless selfies and I have to look at it. You pay me.
The coin chuck, yeah.
Coin chuck. Oh, that's brutal.
But no, yeah. So I went to one of the big cup games there. I think it might have been game 3. I think it was the first game in Zug. One of my teammates got me a ticket. We go, and it's like, the way that I describe it is it's European soccer on ice. Right.
Oh, that's like awesome.
Like the stadium stuff. I didn't sit. You couldn't sit. I was standing on like cement steps, and the whole back of like one of the goalies is just humans of just standing the whole time, like the ultras.
So it's like a Coliseum.
Yeah, kind of. And I was in that with them, and I was like, dude, this is like. And I've been to like Premier League soccer games in England too.
Right.
So like I've been in the environments of like legitimate lunatics.
Right.
And I like, and you know me, I love that shit. Like I'm as nuts as they come. But like, I went to a soccer game. It was like Yankees Red Sox type rivalry up there, and I was there on the winning side of it, and it was one of the most ridiculous scenes I've ever been a part of. And then this was the same. Said? Yeah, Sunderland and Newcastle back in the day.
Cool.
And then this hockey game was like the same thing. They had the chants going all like, it wasn't quiet. You know, a game here, like during the intermissions of Comets, or like when there's a stoppage, we're all just kind of chilling out. You don't stop chanting or like yelling the entire time during this game. And there's beers flying around all over the place, and like the gigantic souvenir cups that you're just crushing them out of. And then they have like, I don't even know how to explain it. They play like this special song for Zug, and they had this. The fans rolled out like a pirate ship, and it like sailed across the stand. Like it was nuts. Like
no way.
Yeah, it was just insane, and that was because it was nuts. It was amazing. It was a once in a lifetime, or I mean, hopefully a multiple lifetime kind of thing. But it was so much fun. And I've been to even lower level like hockey game. Like a bunch of buddies of mine that play in like the 3rd league there, and even that's good hockey. But it's so much different than here. You know, like you grow up and you're like, I just want to bang bodies. Over there, they're like, dude, I'm going to put the silkiest move on you and snip it, and nobody's going to touch me. Because they don't like hit as much as they do here.
Right. It's a different game.
Right. So I mean, and you guys have known, you guys have had foreign players come over and see how they play. There's a difference between your Russians that come over and your Swiss, or your, you know, even your Germans for that matter, like that Nico Hischier. Credit to him now for getting better, but you know, like the Swedes, not most of them aren't that physical as the Russians are, like in the KHL, right?
Yeah.
And it was, you could see it at the top level there. Like they were just skating around like free flying. I'm like, holy geez, like this is on like bigger ice too. Like this is sick.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the Swedes got the most awesome cellies.
Oh, they're awesome.
That one Zetterlund had last Friday night was amazing.
The OT
like
winner.
Faked out his whole team. Like, he stopped him. They're all gonna like Bob. He like turns around, he skates away from him.
Yeah, Jonesy. The two, I don't know if you've watched any Comets hockey, but like 2 of our best offensive players are Swedes, and Alex Holtz, 7th overall pick for the Devil. I mean, he's so sick with the puck. He's ridiculous. Then Zetterlund is just. I don't, Scott, this is crazy. I think he's our best player. I really do.
Overall, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I mean,
Holtz, he's a little silkier, but oh man.
watching him, he is like a fire hydrant on skates. You just can't knock him over. You know,
he's solid,
incredible,
and he
absolutely incredible.
Has an absolute hammer of a clapper. I mean, it's ridiculous, Jonesy. This guy, I swear to God, I feel like he's had an overtime winner every game for like the past 3 months.
I was going to say, I see his name all of the time on the Instagram feed.
Dude, Fabio Vermeer.
And
Hashtag.
Hashtag Fabio Vermeer. Dude, he's a stud, man. I don't know. He like Holtz is sick. Like, don't get me wrong, he's incredible, but he's also, I mean, he's a child. You know, he's got that a lot of development to go. He's been a little more physical. But you could see it. Me and you were standing talking right before you walked up. Me and Samantha were standing right on the bend while they were warming up, and Zetterlund's just beating the crap out of Holtz against the boards, like toughening him up. It's awesome, dude. It's beautiful because they've known each other they live together. They've known each other forever. You know what I mean?
And they're in a commercial together.
Yeah, because they played together for however long back home. So it's interesting how we're kind of talking about how players are different. They're literally from the same place, but they're two really different players. Like Holtz has got that, like I can do things with the puck that don't make any sense, like Matthews, like shoot the puck from a different angle with his feet moving constantly. And then Zetterlund almost plays the game kind of like a Russian. Like he's got a hammer of a shot. He's tough. Yeah. He doesn't try to get too fancy with it. But when Jonesy, he was the one, I don't know if you saw it, just winds up in a shootout. In a shootout.
Oh, yeah.
Just winds up and rips up a clapper from the top of the circle in a shootout.
And the goalie didn't know what to do because he saw
no idea.
He's like, there's no way.
Well, yeah, because he just got dangled out of his shoes by Holtz the round before. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. And Holtz almost lost it and just brought it around him like, little here you go, nice little touch. And then here comes Zetterlund. You know he skated past the bench, goes, watch this. And then boom, that was awesome.
Yeah, Holtzy, I see your mitts, but watch
this. Yeah. Watch this, bud.
Let me show you what a rocket looks like.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. But yeah, it's got to be so much fun to watch those games, dude, because I'm sure the crowd's ballistic. Oh
yeah, it's a whole different animal, and I'm like incredibly excited for this year going to the Czech Republic because I know, Jager's still over there playing, so I'm definitely gonna find a way to find where he's playing and watch him. I'm pretty sure in my town, Ostrava, they have a pretty big team. That my team, my football team, and then they have like a little partnership. So I'm hopefully going to be able to catch a couple games right when I get there, considering they're going to play for a couple more months. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see the difference in skill set. You know, like between Czech and Switzerland, and I've seen like Slovenia. I was at a tournament. I stopped at one there when I was just traveling around the world and popped in for a junior tournament. It was pretty sick.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, the professional leagues in Europe have grown leaps and bounds over, like, the past 20 years. You know, it used to be everybody – obviously, NHL is always going to be the premier league, in the world. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And then the KHL came along, and we're like, okay, well, this is a grid, number 2. But now you have the DEL in Germany, the Swiss league there, the Swiss league, too. But you had Sweden, Finland. They all have top-level professional leagues, like the Liga – and it's insane how much it's grown, and the quality of hockey players that are coming out of there is incredible.
And what's cool about it is they have import rules, right? So it is what we're trying to do with the football in Europe as well. Is like you restrict how many Americans can go, and however like other Europeans can join the team, simply to grow like the natural talent, right? You try and teach people that live there the same thing. So in Switzerland, you were only allowed to have, I think it was like 4 total players from the U.S., North America. Yep. So you'd get like one or two Canadians and a couple of maybe Americans, and then maybe a handful of Swedish guys. There's a Klingberg on that team. I think it's John's brother or something like that played on that Swiss team that I used to go watch. But for the most part, they're all native Swiss guys. Like that's where they grow up playing. It's their version of our. I don't know, like bantams and peewees, they grow up with the same organization. It's like the soccer style. It's European soccer style, but with hockey, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, because I know like the Canadian Hockey League does that import rule too, to try to protect the homegrown talent, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
But no, I can't imagine how nutty that must get though. Those, because I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not big into soccer, but I've seen just how ballistic, like you said earlier, those crowds get for soccer games. And if it's like that for hockey, and the thing you got to remember with hockey is you're in an enclosed arena.
Right.
For those big soccer games, you're in outdoor stadiums, that kind of thing. So that could almost get scary if you're indoors with that.
Listen, I'm just glad that I'm as big as I am, because when I was standing in that hockey game, I'm like, dude, I can't imagine being like a smaller person or like a smaller woman with just these people everywhere. They're just you're a sardine, and you're all going crazy because they score a goal. And what are you gonna do? You're going nuts. You don't just like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. You're screaming, you're jumping around, you're hoping that you don't miss the step and fall off. It's nuts.
That's that. I actually, now that you mentioned, I remember when they were building UBS and Cats wouldn't stop sending us pictures of the development. Like, yeah, dude, we all follow hockey pages. We saw it, but you were like, oh, you see how they don't have the seats in yet? I'm like, yeah, like that's what it looks like. Like, really? Like, yeah,
that's
just not finished arena.
Yeah, they just leave these like cement steps up, and they just say pile on in. Go ahead, get at it.
Well, there's on overhead.
My ticket didn't even have an assigned seat. It was just basically go into the arena and figure it out.
Yeah, it was a general admission seat.
Yeah,
it's the Wild
it was
West.
like going into the pit. It was like going to the pit of a concert.
That was awesome.
It felt like that too. It was awesome.
Awesome. That's great. That is great. Oh boy.
Ooh! Sorry.
Rangers. Oh, you okay?
No,
Rangers.
it was. Yeah, well, it was. So it was 2-0. It was 2-0 Leafs. Guess who scored the goal for the Rangers?
Ryan Reeves.
Ryan Reeves, baby.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh
boy.
He's
Reeves.
the best.
He's
move
one
they
of my
made.
favorite Blues ever.
I was just gonna say, you gotta love him. He used to be a Blue.
Oh, I love that man. The worst thing that ever happened was him leaving that team.
Dude, I'm
but
telling
they got
you,
a
man.
first round pick for him.
Yeah, but I want him back. I want him. I'll trade Sundqvist for him. I like Sundqvist, but I'll trade him.
No, he's not going anywhere. He's the heart and soul of this team right now.
I want him.
Dude, I'm telling you, my dad was on the phone. My dad called. You know, my dad, super Rangers fan, Jones. You know,
yeah.
Going on and on about like how like great they're playing this. That I go, hey, do you remember at the beginning of the season when you said you couldn't believe they extended Ryan Reeves and he hadn't played his shift yet? And he goes, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, no kidding.
Eat those words now, eh, Pop?
Dude, he's been the lifeblood of that team, man. It's fun to watch.
That's awesome.
I love him.
Yeah, there you go. See? So listen, why don't we do a little bit of breakaway trivia? I feel the need to do a breakaway trivia. It's been a while since I've done one, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it tonight. My earbuds falling out and everything. See, so there you go.
Get you in the studio. What do you mean? Get the head.
I know it. Well, I told you I got to get the interface working. It came with a set of professional headphones.
Yeah,
I would actually at least look professional.
What's the problem that you're having?
Well, the audio isn't coming through because I'm sure I have a wrong setting somewhere. So right. I got to figure it out. I got to sit down and figure it out. So, but
Jonesy's a musician, so if you have any audio questions.
Well, and here's the thing: like Dave the Save redid that video for me, and it's supposed to be in the MP4, and I still can't get it to upload. So I got to bug him again about that tomorrow. Poor guy's trying to recover it. I just keep throwing work at him. That's the kind of guy I am.
Right.
That's right, Scotty. You got to do you.
That's right.
We got a show. We almost broke top 100 on Apple.
Oh, we
so close
on Apple.
Stop thinking of yourself.
God damn it, Dave.
We're so close. 102. We're so close.
So
Jones is like, wait, wow, really? Like, yeah. Really?
What's that?
Pretty not bad.
Pretty not bad. Quick plug, shameless plug.
That's right.
Love it.
There you go. So Breakaway Trivia is brought to you by Jimmy the Iceman McNeil's children's book, The Red and White Zamboni Ice Machine. I remembered to get the copy out tonight just for Jimmy. Anyways, you can order your copy by emailing Jimmy at back_Iceman@hotmail.com. All right, guys. So the question is, Wayne Gretzky leads the NHL all-time in assists. Who is number 2?
Oh, I just looked at this yesterday. Oh, no.
Do these typically have anything to do with like the guest that's on the show?
Not really.
Sometimes they do.
Because I was going to say Adam Oates.
No, it's a good guess.
Isn't he? He's like top 10 all time.
Well, because he just fed Hully.
So. I know, right?
It's not Oates. Number 2, it would have to be somebody who also played with.
Well,
a scorer.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you a hint. You were talking about one of his teammates earlier in the Czech Republic. One of his teammates at one time.
So where did Jágr score all of his goals? Pittsburgh?
Probably. I'm gonna say it's Jágr though. Just because
he said it's a teammate of Jágr.
Oh, it's a teammate of Jágr, so it's not Jágr.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Super Mario.
Lemieux? No.
Nope.
It's
Josh says is saying Graves. That's Josh is coming in from the comments.
Adam or Ryan? No.
Come on.
But no, it's not Adam Graves either.
Oh,
you know who it is? You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's Ronnie Francis.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ron Francis, 1,249 assists.
Jesus.
I just want to make it clear we all, Josh included, had good guesses.
It is. You're right.
I wonder where Oates is on that list because that's like
I think he's number 6 or 7.
Okay, so he's at least in the top
assists?
10.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was Gretzky with 1,963. Josh is number 10. Okay.
Good Lord,
I believe, yeah, because like I said, I kind of briefly looked at the list. So
yeah, Mark Messier's 3, Bork's 4. Oh my God.
yeah.
Yager's 5, Coffee 6, Joe Thornton 7, Adam Oates number 8, Stevie Y number 9, and Gordie Howe number 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
What an incredible list right there. What an
the
incredible list. But I'll tell you what, speaking of Mark Messier, did you guys know that he just had a birthday?
Happy birthday to our
He
man.
turned
Yeah.
61 yesterday. It made me feel so old.
Vancouver's favorite son.
Oh my
It's got to
goodness.
be.
Yeah, it's 61 years old. I can't believe it.
Wow.
But, yeah.
He's 61.
He's 61, but you know what? He looks like he can still play.
Yeah,
like-
I was
he's
gonna
like-
say he
he's
looks
like Brind'Amour.
great.
You know?
He's like guys like him, Brind'Amour, like Lindstrom, they could totally lace him up.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Rod
he's
the
waiting for the PTO.
Rod the Bod would definitely score.
Rod the Bod, dude. This is
Yeah, right.
He'd be
Oh my
a
God.
point a game guy, and he'd beat the shit out of everybody. That
dude.
came near him.
I want to work out with that guy.
I don't because I don't think I'd make it.
His intensity. What do you mean? Oh yeah, that was the best when watching you get ready to go back overseas. Watch Coach Kev just crushing you in the
Oh,
gym. was the
dude, that's what I
best.
mean. If I was with Rod the Bod, I'd never make it out alive. He probably goes in at like 4 a.m. and crushes.
Dude, there were
3-hour
days
workouts.
where we'd be doing a show and everyone's like, "Oh, is Jonesy coming on?" And I go, "Well, Kev killed him in the gym for 2 hours and then he golfed." No,
That's not true. I did make it a few times after a double sesh.
double set. Yeah, no, for real. So wait, this is off topic, but are there any good spot? Can you golf anywhere in the Czech?
I haven't really looked into it because I don't bring my clubs with me.
That's kind of a shock that you haven't.
It's hard because something I learned in Switzerland that I did not know is that you need to have like a permit to golf. Like you have to obtain like a golf license to play in certain countries.
It's not based on skill, is it?
No, you have to like take an actual test.
I was gonna say I was so screwed if it was based on
I think
skill.
so. So I think some of it is actually like skill based, but it's basically you have to be able to like basically go through like what it's like to play in a round. These people don't want like schlubs on their course.
Yeah.
So you have to like buy a license. I didn't get to play at all in Switzerland, and I had lived 100 meters from one. Like I lived there's a brewery and then a golf course, literally 500 meters away, and I couldn't touch it because I didn't have this license.
Well, you didn't have to take a test to go to the brewery, did you?
No,
they're all about that.
That's
All right, well, that's the important
I
part.
just flash some money. They let you in.
Yeah.
All about that. Oh, jeez.
So no, I haven't scoured the premises. I'm more so looking forward to finding some hockey while I'm there, and then because I'll be there till mid-July. So really golfing, I'll be home for the peak golf back home.
Yeah, we'll link up. You'll whoop my tail left, right, and center.
I would hope so. No offense.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
I play like every day. I'm allowed.
Speaking of Comets game Saturday, Scott,
Yeah.
you'll be there, right?
I'll be there late because we have a game at 7:30.
Jonesy, do you play Saturday night?
No, I took myself off the roster getting so close to the season.
What are you doing Saturday
Had to be
night?
cautious. Grandma's birthday.
What are you
The
doing
woman's
after
like
that?
80 something. It's at 6.
We want to grab one before you leave?
Yes.
Because I'm probably planning on going out anyway. So
Yeah. All right. So then I'll just find you.
yeah, I'll meet up with you. Maybe we'll go
I'll
to the
figure
Kilbrew. So Scott, if you got nothing to do.
Hey, right there you go.
It's your team, ain't it, Scotty?
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't think I live 10 feet away. They didn't think to get me a jersey.
Listen,
you get my old one. How's
I was
that?
trying to get it. I was trying to get you into my games. I don't know, every time I
Well,
had
dude,
one.
I want to put on a suit and just start. Like, I want to get someone with a camera, maybe Samantha, or whoever, follow me. I'm going to put on a suit, bring a clipboard and a whistle, and I'm going to go and coach.
My team would have let you coach without a doubt because we were like unstoppable anyway. So
I'm going to just show up and just start screaming at everybody.
You got to throw a clipboard out on the ice or something. That's
Yeah, just start losing it. Pull a David Quinn. Rabbit ears. Just start screaming.
Start slamming a stick like what's his face from the Stars after the Blues beat
Dude,
him.
Bonus was fired
yeah,
up.
Mike Yao. Yeah.
Dude, that
Ricky
was
Bonus
wild.
going banana lands. That was awesome.
Dude, I was so mad.
Dude, I had money on that game too. I missed it by one empty netter.
Speaking of coaches going crazy, and it's not really him going crazy, but we talked about. Did anybody see Gallant smack Reeves in the face the other day?
No.
Dude, he was over his shoulder yelling at the ref and like cocked his hand back and caught Reeves right in the face.
Oh, all right. So it wasn't on purpose. The way you were
No,
talking,
no.
I was like, wait, hang on a second.
And he lived to tell the tale?
Yeah, Revo made this face like,
fuck with.
you're so lucky you're the coach of this team. Like, like, you're so lucky. And like, if they weren't winning, like if they weren't like a successful team right now, oh, dude, might have been over for Gallant. I'm sorry.
He turns around getting ready to cold clock somebody. Realizes the coach like, okay, hang on a sec.
Josh tuning in just at the Brew Wings before UC games is our. There you go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the wings, man.
Oh my God, the wings. Oh yeah,
they're great.
Definitely. Well, Dom, you just brought up the Comets, so we got another birthday. Robert Esch, president of the Comets, turns 44 this Saturday. So happy birthday to Robert Esch. And let's talk about the Comets for a second, since they are at the first intermission in their game of Laval. They're down 1-0.
How we looking? 1-0.
1-0. Yeah, Yolen or something got goal for Laval. It's been kind of by this season standards anyway, kind of a rough stretch for the Comets.
Yeah.
4-3-3 in their last 10 games. So it's not like they have a losing record, but other teams in their division are getting very hot, like Rochester. Laval's even been pretty hot lately. They're 7-2-1. Toronto 7-3-0 in their last 10. So, that they've built up this huge lead, which it's kind of getting chipped away right now. But the good news is that New Jersey is finally getting healthy. So by extension, that should end up helping the Comets out quite a bit, because the Comets have been kind of a revolving door roster-wise for the past 3-4 weeks or so. Granted, I understand like everybody's going through that right now. But, like I said, what was it last week? We had 6 players from Adirondack out on the ice.
Yeah.
I think something like that. And it's, nothing against them. It's just that's not the regular lineup that they had when they were rattling off 13 wins in a row to start the season, and winning 18 of their first 20 or whatever crazy stat they had.
Not to damper on the Devils are finally getting it together, but they're down 2-1 of the Yotes, which is never a good thing.
Good thing I didn't pull out. There was a bet on Caesars Sportsbook, and it was Devils, Rangers, and Ducks to win. I felt good about 2 of those. Clearly, I was wrong.
Well, yeah, you got the Yotes. They're down up 2-1 with 8 to go in the second. The Rangers are going in the first intermission down 3-1. And then who was the other one you said?
It was the Ducks. The Ducks are playing the
Avalanche.
Avs.
Yeah, they don't play.
They're playing later on. Yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed far away from that, no matter how bad I wanted those like plus 3,000 odds.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, because the Avs are getting hot now too.
They're the Dallas Cowboys right now. If I can pull in some listen.
Wait,
they're the Dallas Cowboys.
They're gonna misplace the puck. Is that what you're
Listen, here's the thing. What has happened the last 2 years with that team?
Yeah.
The Avs.
Yeah, they've been phenomenal in the regular season. Then what happens?
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, that's the curse. That's the curse of being the good team in the regular season.
Listen, I'm not, and that's what I'm saying. It's just to bring in my football perspective. Is look at the Cowboys. Everybody's like, oh, they're going to win it all. They're going to win it all. They look amazing. Well, they get in the playoffs and they face a team that does something different than what they've seen, and it beats them up. For the Avalanche sake, if it's the Blues that they play in the first round, I hope they get the Blues beat the wheels off of them. But who knows who they're going to see, and then you never know what's going to happen. The playoffs are a different animal, and like you guys have seen, look what happened the year the Blues won it. Hot goalie,
right?
No real superstar that year. And the Avs are top to bottom. Their roster is ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense how they have all of these guys. So dude, I saw a stat today with Donovan Taves.
Yeah.
Right? That's his name?
Devon Taves.
Devon. Yeah, sorry.
Devon Taves. Former Islander. Shout out.
Yeah, former Islander. Yeah. When he's on the ice, I think, or when he plays, they're like 30 and like 15. And then when he doesn't play, they're like 15 and 20. Like something ridiculous. So
right.
You never know. All it takes is one guy to go out, but I definitely like them against the Ducks. I was just kind of hoping for
that's your 100%. I agree though, to like kind of transition into like even just with the playoffs in general. That's why like everybody gives me a hard time about the Rangers. Like, dude, all the Rangers got to do is make the playoffs. Shesty gets hot. They're like this season. They're like it's like 17-2-2 with him in goal. It doesn't even make any sense. It's ridiculous. And so some of these teams like. All you got to do is get hot and get your goalie, kind of rocking and rolling.
But you know what the problem with that is, though, Dom?
What's up?
What if he plateaus out?
Well, I got to be honest with you, Scotty. He's a Russian, and I have faith in him.
It's got to guess.
For that own thing alone, I don't know, man. Well, that's the thing. Like, look what's going on in Edmonton right now. Like, there is no reason why the team should be so bad, but they did nothing to affect their goaltending whatsoever.
Exactly.
No
And I don't understand that one at all. I mean, they went out and they spent all that money signing Zach Hyman, right?
Yeah,
why would you spend that money when you don't need any more offense? If you need grit, you can get grit from Bakersfield, right?
Right.
What they needed was goaltending, and there was goaltenders available, and they sat put. I mean, they stayed put, and I don't understand that at all. I mean, great. You got the two of the best, if not the best players in the league, right? And Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But if they're scoring 7 goals a game, great. But if you're giving up 8, what's the point?
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Come on.
Doesn't make any sense.
This just it blows my mind. And Kenny Holland's been around a long time. Their GM.
Right.
It's not like he's some rookie GM that just just got the job as his first gig.
Right. Are you saying going after and getting a 38-year-old Duncan Keith wasn't the move?
Imagine that. No way.
That bag, Jonesy. We talked about this probably in the chat. I don't know if we ever talked about it in person, but I've said it on the show a million times. The amount of money that they paid Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I would score at least 30 goals.
Yeah.
On that line.
Yeah. I mean, no joke. You put me on that line and you gave me like $100,000, I'll score.
Bro, if they gave you $1 million, you'd end up with 50 points.
Easily. I'll just stand in front of the net and I'll get garbage. I'll be like Wayne Simmons.
Dude,
but you know what though? You know what the problem is with that? I mean, you know what Connor McDavid is really, and I know this is going to sound very strange, but it almost seems like they have to put McDavid and Draisaitl on the same line together.
Right.
Because Connor McDavid is a hard guy to play with, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, because you never know where he's going.
Exactly. He's
so unpredictable.
He's video game fast. I mean, it's just
it doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't. So I mean, you're almost better off just putting some schlub on his wing and just hope for the best. Let him go out there and yuck it up, create some space.
Yeah,
right. You know what?
Sure.
That's the way. I mean, of course,
whatever he's got to do for when he's playing with Panarin and Zibanejad in 2026.
Oh, here we go.
I hope not.
But I'll tell you what.
Listen, if I'm Connor McDavid, I got to deal with the Edmonton media all of the time. The last place I'm going is New York. I'm going to go somewhere. Just go chill out somewhere. Like go to Arizona. Guess what? I'm just going to chill on the beach all day.
No, because that's where Austin Matthews is going to go.
The Edmonton
they'll both
media
go.
The other day that didn't do it for you with Draisaitl. Oh my god!
Why are you getting pissy? Because I want to fuck off, bro.
Yes.
Like if somebody asked me that question, he handled that pretty well. I would have lost my mind.
Because me and McDavid are both putting up 100 points a year and we still can't win.
Yeah,
we're 8 points off a playoff spot. You think?
Are you
maybe?
kidding me? Them both individually average more points a year than most lines do.
Right.
I
mean, dude,
it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And it's like you said too, Scott. I don't even know if this is on the rundown. I'm gonna be honest with you, but we're getting into it. But it's not like Ken Holland doesn't know hockey. Like it's Ken Holland. Like, come on.
Detroit for so long. It's like, dude,
right?
Don't you know you're not going anywhere without good goaltending?
Dude, it's got to be so frustrating for guys like McDavid and all these guys and then just to turn their head slightly and look at Detroit like, oh man, whatever Stevie Y's doing over there is working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Jeez,
no kidding. No
That's
kidding
crazy.
at all. So, actually, Dom, you brought up the Rangers, and of course, I know you were kidding about, McDavid going there. And
Josh was a great interview response. Dude wasn't having it. Yeah, it's true. He wasn't, man. No,
I don't blame him
either.
Not at all.
No,
that's just a dumb question.
It's not like he's not trying. Like he's trying. What do you want him to do?
Right. And you know what the thing about that was too? The guy who asked it, Jim Matheson, he's actually in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, is he really?
As a reporter. I mean, yeah, he's been in Edmonton reporting on the Oilers since like the 1970s when they were in the WHA. And so again, it goes right back to this is not a guy who's some rookie reporter coming out of college,
right? Trying to get headlines.
This is a guy who he covered Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier and all through the good times and the bad, and it's like to make that kind of comment. Maybe he's just as frustrated watching. I don't know. But
well, Scott, it's been what you just said. Kind of was like what I was going to ask. Maybe what you think too, because you obviously you were. Watched hockey way longer than me and Jonesy, so
that's because I've been alive longer.
Exactly. Yeah, I was trying to be nice about it. I didn't know how to.
We weren't going to go there, but
I didn't want you to say, "Hey, you're old."
I used to have to wait for Hockey Night in Canada to watch hockey. That's how old I am.
Right. So, well, I was going to say, I think it's underappreciated probably by a lot of East Coast fans, especially younger ones. Like when it comes to hockey, Edmonton is like, it's a big deal. So like that's the fan base is frustrated. The media's got to be frustrated. Like you had Wayne Gretzky, like,
right? And here's the thing too. Like a lot of people forget, like with the Canadian cities, the NHL team is number one,
right?
Whereas on a lot of this, the cities in the States, the NHL team, maybe is number two at best.
Right.
Usually 3 or 4 in the the pecking order, so to speak, behind football, basketball, baseball, and all that.
Right.
So with the Canadian cities, it's not just Edmonton. It's Vancouver's a very tough market as well. Toronto is Montreal is notoriously tough.
Right.
They're the only game in town, really, as far as major sports. So, yeah, of course, they're going to get all the attention. And so that's, you can understand the frustration there as well, because, and guys like McDavid, Draisaitl, any superstar in any sport, really, I'm sure has to sit through the stupid questions sometimes, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, or a reporter kind of, he called on me, but,
right.
I there are some that would say, well, he handled that wrong. He should. No, you know what? I think the NHL kind of lacks personality sometimes. And for somebody to actually say how they feel, I got no issues with it at all.
100%.
Not at all.
Guys are robots out there.
Right. Exactly. Even though I didn't like it the other night when Kucherov did that whole shush thing after he scored against the Kings. I'm a Kings fan, and it just kind of that to me wasn't personality. No.
You know what's really kind of crazy too? I'm just looking at this right now. Like I'm looking at their division, and as bad as they've been, they're not like really necessarily out of it.
No,
like not even a little.
The Oilers, no.
Yeah, the division is a mess.
Because the West is wide open.
Right. Yes.
The West is wide open. The East, if you look at the East standings, the 8 playoff spots are just about decided.
Yeah.
I still think the Islanders might have an outside chance, but they're going to need one of those infamous 9 or 10 game winning streaks.
Right. Well, they've got so many games in hand too.
And that's exactly why. Because I mean, every year some team goes on this ridiculous winning streak. Like remember when Columbus did it a couple of years ago? They won 15 in a row, something ridiculous, and they got in the playoffs. And I think that was the year that they beat Tampa Bay in the first round.
Yeah.
So with the Islanders, that team is too talented for this to be the real New York Islanders team. Now, granted, the Islanders kind of did the same thing that the Oilers did, right? As far as the Oilers not addressing their goaltending, the Islanders didn't really address the fact that he can't score a damn goal when they need.
Well, just what I was about to say. I'd say it's interesting you say that they're talented because I was going to say they're actually not talented at all.
Well, they're talented. Listen, they're talented system-wise.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
well, for sure.
The talent that they had is
coach
perfect
in the league,
for that
probably.
system.
Kidding?
Exactly.
Oh,
but the problem with the Islanders is that they were one of those teams that they live and die by their system, and when there's a fault in that system, and you don't have enough individual talent to overcome it, that's where the problem starts, right? And granted, and I'm sure they'll tell you it's no excuse or anything like that, but they had a messed up season right from the start, starting off with 13 games on the road, and then they, the whole, and again, you can't use COVID. I don't care. No team can use COVID as an excuse because every single team has had to deal with it. So to me, that's really not an excuse, and it almost works out to their advantage because now, like Jonesy said, they got all these games in hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they got with the COVID stuff. They kind of got burned at the beginning of it because
you're right.
You know how like now with the new way what are they, the new recommendations of being able to come back earlier and so at the beginning, I think Ottawa got games suspended when they had 10 guys go out. But a month before that, the Islanders were literally playing with half of Bridgeport, on their
starting.
They
had 7 guys down.
They had so many guys out, and listen, they already, like you said, Scotty, they struggle to score goals. What's going to happen when you take away the guys that can score, and then you force them to play games?
Right.
And now, again, it's hard to use it as an excuse because I'm a partial Islander guy, but at the same time, as it's gone on, they've gotten healthier, but they've still been behind the curve because no other team other than Ottawa, who got the suspension of the season pretty early on, nobody's really missed that many guys at one. I think they were missing 9 guys at one time, which is it's 2 full forward lines. It's insane.
And they made them play. That was the and I think that's what bothered people the most about all this. There was absolutely no consistency as far as there should have been a guideline out right from the get-go by the league that said, okay, if you've got say 5 players in the protocol, we're postponing your game.
Right.
Because it's not, And then they came up with the taxi squad, which is all fine and good, but it still requires cab gymnastics and it still requires all kinds of. But
Nonsense.
I will say that the NHL, I'm sure you guys saw it the other day, came out and said, once the All-Star break's over, we're done testing asymptomatic players. And you know what? Bravo.
Huge.
I agree.
Enough. Finally. I mean, listen, feel what you want to feel about what's going on with the virus and all that. But, it's just, listen, we got to learn at this point, just live with it and deal with it.
Right.
And,
no, go ahead.
Yeah. And I'm just, to me, constantly testing these asymptomatic players was just kind of, after a while, it's like, why are you doing this? I mean, if you're going to do this, you might as well just shut the whole season down.
Right.
Because you're just going to be,
it's crazy.
Yeah, where else do you go to work where they test you if you're not symptomatic?
Right.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's
literal super athletes.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I work on an ambulance, and they don't test me every time I go to work.
Some of the healthiest guys on the planet.
And guess what? If they're sick, they're going to let you know.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
because you don't think their agent's got to say, "Hey, listen, if you're not feeling good, do not risk it."
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're in a contract here, so
yeah, pretty much.
Get your ass out there.
But I just wanted to pull a little stack eye down moment here, just to put in perspective really quick. So the Islanders' points, right? Do you want to take a guess who leads their team in points?
Brock Nelson.
It's Matt Barzal, and he has 23. And then behind him is Oliver Wahlstrom and Josh Bailey, tied with 16. Ovi leads the league. Do you know how many points he has?
He's got like 50 plus.
55. Yeah. Drysdale has 54. Connor McDavid is 53. Huberdeau's tied with him at 53. Do you know who's in fifth, which is a shocker, with 49?
Kadri.
Nazem Kadri. What in the world? What's going on there, dude?
Well, listen, it's not the playoffs, and he's not going to do anything to get.
We got Sean Murphy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. 75% of the NHLers have had it. There won't be many guys left to get it, but yeah, for sure. Exactly. Like, come on. Well, we're getting, and here's the thing, and I just mentioned him too. How many more goals would Ovi have if the last 2 years didn't happen? It'd be just,
I would never have a doubt in my mind that he'd break every record there is.
Just past Mike Modano, all-time points, 24th now.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Insane.
Well, I don't think he's going to get to Gretzky's point total. He might.
No.
Goals for sure.
Goals for sure. I think Ovi will probably end up top 10 like all time with points in there. Probably. Somewhere maybe like 10th or 9th, maybe even 8th. I don't know. Because the difference between 2 and 1 on that list is literally 900 plus points.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense. I still think he's going to break I do think he's going to do the goals. I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Yeah. No, no doubt. I mean,
what's he got? 4 more years on that contract now?
Well, I mean, the only thing that's going to derail him is if he ever runs into an injury problem.
Right.
That's the only thing I can see derailing him. Otherwise,
he'll have a shot of vodka, smoke a cigarette, and call it a day.
He drinks like Coca-Cola on the bench, Dr. Pepper, whatever it was.
That's awesome. That really is.
He's Russian. The Russian gas is real shit.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He's just a different breed of human being. The guy's a freak.
Exactly.
I mean,
he's not like you and I. He's not a normal.
Jonesy, I got to ask you, have you ever tried that on the sideline? Just drink a soda instead and just
I've tried multiple things on the sideline. They never work.
Like Vaughn Upton crushing Dr. Peppers.
Yeah, kid loves Dr. Pepper and
Scotty. I tell Scotty we got to have him on. He's a.
You got to get Vaughn. He's wild.
He's a referee. He's an official in USA Hockey ODP down in St. Louis. Nice. So him and Joey Holmes, a New Hartford kid, do like they both work games. You know, Joey I think is a linesman and Vaughn's a ref, and they're wild. It's crazy.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Get there. We had him on the night the Peelsy thing happened. It was awesome.
Yes.
I bet that was awesome. Great.
Dude, it was. They came in live in a hotel room in like the boondocks of Nebraska. It was awesome.
Great. That's great.
That was great. It was great. It was one of the best shows we ever did.
But you know what? I just wanted to finish them because we got kind of a little bit sidetracked there. And just with the Comets, should we be worried, Dom? Or I personally am not.
No.
I'm not, because they've got games in hand on everybody, because they were another team that had a lot of games postponed.
Yeah.
And just to finish up on the point, with New Jersey getting healthy again, you're going to see the roster stabilize, right? And once they get that team gelled back together, I don't think they're going to, have any problems going forward. Like I said, and listen, every team, I don't care who you are and how good you are, you go through rough patches and seasons.
100%.
It's a long season. It's going to happen, right? But I mean, there should be absolutely no panic whatsoever right now. And yeah, Holtzy.
Alex
Speaking of
Holtzy.
Holtzy, just tied it 1-1. There you go.
My thought on that, Scott, is simple. Clear eyes, Coach Dineen can't lose.
There you go.
Guy's
There you
a
go.
magician. He's like him and Heenan. I don't understand it. Jonesy,
Yeah.
You haven't been to a Comets game this year, have you?
No. I
The
haven't.
boys, every game, with the exception of a couple, they start out kind of flat. It's almost like they're sharks circling in the first period. And I don't know what Dineen says to them in the first intermission, but man, it's gas pedal. I mean,
Yeah.
and then the second intermission, forget it. It's a wrap. Like if it's a close game, dude, pedal down like 2 or 3 times. I'm not kidding. They've blown up for like 3, 4, 5 goals in the third period. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
They just, I don't know. They come out battling. It's crazy.
It's got to be something with those, like, because Dineen, he was a player, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
pretty
he
good he was a pretty physical type player too.
Yeah,
if
he
I
was.
do recall, right? So
Definitely. Yep.
like that, what you said about the Comets actually kind of reminds me of the Blues, and not to just keep it all Blues centric with me, but I think statistically speaking, they're one of the best second period teams in the league. If you like actually look at their statistics, they outscore their opponents almost in every single second period by like 2 goals.
Right.
They come out and they feel the wall, like you said. And I think it's kind of a Berube thing, like with that style of play, that physical brand of hockey. You feel out your opponent. You know, let's not get too open, because what happens when teams like that get open ended, they get beat by the Leafs 6-5.
Right.
You know, like that's what happened a few nights ago. So they feel out the first period, and the second period they just beat the shit out of you. They score goals, and then the third period they buckle down and they just expand on the lead and they torment you, just like the Comets probably do right at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it's cruel. I mean, there's been games where it's sick. Like, you know what I mean? Because you got guys like Holtz and Zetterlund and all these offensive weapons that they have. We could just, when they're hot, that team scores at will.
Yeah.
Right.
And then even when they get the puck, you got to deal with Kevin Ball, Tyler Witherspoon. Like, dude, it's mean. It's mean. Like, it's not. It's sick. Like they get guys on the team that are just tough. Like Patrick McGrath throws bombs. I mean, he's on the team for one reason: is beat the crap out of people. But when he does, man, that fight he had the other night, man, that was oof.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'll tell you, you know, what could hurt them, though, is AJ Greer is going to be out for a while now.
Ross Johnston.
After that hit, Lindy Ruff said he's going to miss some serious time. And actually, AJ was a big part of the grind.
Yeah, I
You know,
loved
the
him. He's the
physicality
energizer
for
bunny
the-
of that team.
Yeah.
Dude. It was awesome.
Josh said, went to watch my baby Pens play the Comets, and that was a great back and forth game. It sure was. And I'll tell you what, I think the Comets got a bit more of a fight from the baby Pens than they thought they were going to get.
I think so too. They put up a good one.
It was. But yeah, I mean, just so to wrap up, I don't think we got to worry about it as Comets fans. Dom, I want to ask you, because the Rangers have been in the news a little bit, rumor mills more than anything else. As always, the Rangers seem to be connected to every potential trade that is out there. Always.
Right.
It never fails.
Right.
Do they make a move for anybody before the trade deadline?
All right. So this is my thought, right? This is going to be the best year on that contract that you're going to get out of Chris Kreider. There's no way he's going to do what he's doing next year, right? It's not going to happen. And then in the next couple of years, if you're going to make a move, like say it's 2 years from now, Chris Kreider is probably going to be involved in that bundle. Next year, the cap space situation's not good for the Rangers. The year after it, it's really good. So next year might be like kind of like a kind of mail it in year. It would back to what I said earlier. If Shesterkin gets hot when you make the playoffs, why not go for it? Like if you can make a move right now, whether it's like Tomas Hertl or Terry Lekkonen's floating around from the Habs, there's a couple different moves they've been talking about. If you can make a move, like if Drury can pull off a move and not get fleeced, why not? Honestly, like who's gonna beat you? Like really though, like it's not even like an arrogant Rangers fan thing. Who's gonna beat this team? They pumped Tampa Bay. Right, they can play with Toronto. The game right now doesn't look great, but Toronto folds in the playoffs. It's just the way it is. And then we can worry about playing the Avs or whoever. If we get to the Stanley Cup, who's going to beat that team?
Let me ask you a question though. Does their secondary scoring worry you?
Their 5-on-5 is what worries me. That's their penalty kill's fine, and their power play is good. The 5-on-5 scoring right now is what bothers me. So if they can get an offensive weapon, then let's go. The secondary, the biggest issue on the team was Mika Zibanejad up until like 2 weeks ago, and now he's an all-star. Like, you know what I mean?
Man in, baby.
Yeah, the fourth line on that team is the best line on the team. Like, it's unbelievable. The secondary scoring. Philip Hedl is not a center. That's the problem with Philip Hedl. He's not a center. He's a winger, and they just need to accept that. So you need to maybe realize, like, hey, maybe we need to get another center. Maybe we thought we fixed this, but we didn't. Lafreniere is getting better every couple weeks. I mean, he's a kid, and he's not even playing currently, but, like, he'll get there. We had another good winger. I don't know if anybody's heard of him. What's his name, Jonesy? Maybe you know him. Pavel Buchnevich, but for some reason we traded him for a guy that's hurt all season now.
I know.
So that move didn't work out. But when Sammy Blais was there, I liked Sammy Blais a lot. So if they're gonna go for it, you got to go for it. I don't know who your move is going to be. I mean, there's a couple moves. I don't know which moves specifically you were kind of talking about. I named two of them.
They were talking about Jacob Chikrin, defenseman from Arizona, but that's going to be a huge haul. They were saying that Arizona is going to be looking in the range of like a Jack Eichel package.
Yeah, that's
Vegas had to give up to get him.
But now, with that being said, no, go ahead.
No, but if the kid is 24 years old, he's got 4 years left on a $4.8 million AAV contract. It's a ridiculous contract,
right?
You know, and he's coveted by pretty much every team in the league. Just one of those guys that basically needs to get out of Arizona.
Right.
What is defense the problem, or no. I shouldn't say problem. That kind of came out wrong. Is defense an area they need to address, or would it be picking up on the 5-on-5 secondary scoring?
5-on-5 secondary. The defense is, I mean, they're young, but it's not a problem. Here's the other thing. Not only, like I said, this is the best year you're going to get out of Chris Kreider. Ryan Strome is a good hockey player now all of a sudden, and you're going to have to pay him or let him.
That's why he's
next year he's up. So like exactly, and he's gonna want I play with Artemi Panarin money, which is not, you know, because that's like a differential. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but you play with Panarin, so it's kind of not really fair.
They should re-sign Strome and just tell the press that they paid him in Panarin bucks.
Yes, I love that. I think it's brilliant. Be like, hey, the best thing, this is my favorite part, is he's such a good player this year, and we talked about this before, but like Jeff Gorton literally came out, was like, yeah, we've done literally everything we can to trade Ryan Strome this week, and it just hasn't happened. Like that's basically his direct quote. We tried so hard. I've literally considered giving him away with a bag of pucks, and he's still here. And now he's one of the best players on the team. So if you can go for it, go for it. It's not a defensive issue. It's the defense is fine. And it's young, which is great. The other thing, and a lot of Rangers fans aren't going to agree with this because New York sports fans specifically tend to get attached to every prospect they have. There's not a single prospect they have that's untouchable. Not a single one. I don't care who it is. If you got to make that deal, make it.
Right, because basically your prospects are already playing in the NHL anyway.
Exactly. Who's our best prospect? Shesterkin and Adam Fox? Hi, they're already extended. Lafreniere? Right. Like what do you mean?
Right.
Doesn't matter.
It'll be interesting. You know, we just talked about the Edmonton Oilers needing goaltending help. Wouldn't it be interesting if they traded Georgiev?
I said that. We talked about something. Jonesy, I said it because we talked about this. I think it was like 2 days after. It was a Monday night when they played Edmonton. Georgie played great, and it was the only game on that night. So I was like, every GM in the league is watching this game right now.
Yep.
Every single one. If you can move,
because let's face it. If the Rangers are going to make a run, it's with Shesterkin in that. There's no way Georgiev's getting in the net in the playoffs. And if Shesterkin goes out, then that's it.
Then it's Keith Kincaid's team.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
He's there.
I've said this. Jonesy, you agree. You know athletic, like sports.
Yeah.
I've said so. Georgie, the issue with Georgie is, I'm better when I play every day. I got to play, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but he's a backup, and he has to be a backup, and he's always going to be a backup. If that's the attitude going in, that's not as positive as now we traded Georgiev. Keith Kincaid's the backup. Keith Kincaid, his kind of, who he is. He's just kind of a dude. He's like, all right, boys, let's go steal one while Shesty's off. Let's try and get the old man a win. Like that's Kincaid's mentality, and that's better in a situation where you need a backup. Like we talked about it earlier with Allen and Binnington. The two goalies is huge. Not with Shesterkin. I mean, the guy can play every day. He gets in a car accident and he's back on the ice in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? He's bulletproof. He'll play every game. It don't matter if the playoff series where he's got days in between. Let him play. Who cares? And we don't need a backup. And even if you have a backup, he's not going to play anyway. I'm going to start someone before Igor Shesterkin, who's on pace to be one of the best goalies in the league the next couple of years.
Right.
It's crazy. If you could trade Georgiev, do it. Even if it's for nobody, just do it.
Yeah, just even for some scoring depth. If anything.
Right.
You don't want to turn this into another Lundqvist situation.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because listen, does it not look very reminiscent?
Dude,
a goalie that shuts the door all of the time, a fairly stable defense, an offense that has 6 guys that score and nothing more. It's very, dude, it's almost like a replay. They're the cyclical. So like Scotty said, they need secondary scoring or they're going to run into a team like the Kings back in the day who are going to shut down your top 2 lines and then they're going to grind the shit out of you with the 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
Granted, the 4th line of the Rangers is good.
It's the best line of the team. Dude,
but you need to have guys. And honestly, I feel bad because Sammy Blais was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him play for a very long time. He would have been like that kind of guy for them, like with a little bit of grit and gumption, but score.
Right.
So they need that because otherwise this is just going to be the King all over again. A great goalie is going to win a ton of games, but he's never going to go anywhere because they can't score.
Dude, here's the thing too. Like, it's not that he shouldn't have got paid what he got paid. But I mean, Goudreau's got 17 points this year. He's not like he's a pine cone out there. Like he's not a traffic cone. He's
a participating.
Dude, he's nothing. It's not like he's nothing. I mean, there's plenty of like they got guys out there who can score. If they just had that one little piece, if we didn't trade Pavel Buchnevich, like if we just,
and you know what? They were so eager to get rid of him. I don't understand that.
You know what it was? They were like, well, they were like sources close to the team, like, oh, we didn't want to pay him after next year. Okay. Then don't pay him after next year.
I know.
Like you already have. Like I understand the Sammy Blais. Like I don't know how much longer they have him under control. I know it's longer than that, but still, I don't know. It's no disrespect to Sammy Blais, but Buchnevich was already a legitimate scorer. Blais got potential, but I mean, Buchnevich could have been the guy.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm enjoying him quite a bit.
Well, the thing that drove me the most nuts is Drury was like, "Oh, we want to add more to our top 6." Okay, so you traded a top 6 winner?
You got rid of our top 6, right?
You traded a top 6 winger. Same thing with like, oh, we wish we had more wingers during this run. Oh, you mean the guy that's on Vancouver now? You mean JT Miller, the guy that was a Ranger that nobody liked for some reason?
But that's another one that they were talking about.
The reunion.
JT Miller coming back to the Rangers.
Dude, if they got JT Miller back, oh my god,
it cost him an arm and a leg though. Now
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I don't know.
It
Listen, but here's the thing though. So what's
it solves your secondary scoring problem,
right? Listen, we need. If we're gonna go, I could do this all day.
Right.
If we're gonna go push all in, all the chips. We need secondary scoring. We need just scoring in general. We'll blanket call that, and we need another center. Just go for Bo Horvat if you're gonna trade with Vancouver. Just do it. Like, honestly, you got a center.
Hey, you know what?
It's tough as nails.
Listen, go really crazy. Go for Pedersen.
That's
Pedersen.
Just couldn't deal with that. Vancouver, they're feeling it though now. Bruce, there it is. I mean, they're feeling it.
The Bruce Boudreau effect,
dude. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I have faith in Shesterkin. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's I tell you, I mean, that's not a bad thing to have, the faith, and he's proven that he's a legit NHL goaltender. There's no doubt about it.
Right,
3-2 now, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Ryan Reeves scored again.
Well, guess what? It's 3-1 Laval. So I hate to be the I thought that's 3-2. Like, no, wait, it's 3-1. Revo lighting it up tonight.
Dude, if Revo puts up a hat trick against the hat or the Leafs, I'm gonna die. I won't be able to handle that. I'm sweating, like I'm actually sweating.
Well, Dom, I don't want you to have completely melt down on us over there. So just got one last topic here, fellas. Congratulations to Willie O'Ree. Number 22 was retired by the Boston Bruins, and the very next day he found out he's going to be getting the Congressional Gold Medal. So good for Willie O'Ree. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It really is awesome. I gotta tell you something. I love those hats, the fedoras that he wears.
Dude, old man's got style, man.
He does.
Swagger. I love it.
Definitely got style.
That guy's awesome, dude. He's hockey treasure.
You don't become a pioneer like that and not have some kind of style.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
If you're gonna set trends, like just as being one of the first black athletes in hockey, and then you got to go full go. You got to be looking good, playing good, feeling good, and then get your number in the rafters.
It's funny you mentioned that, Jonesy. I follow like a million old, like it's not hockey, but like a million like vintage baseball pages. And there's a picture that was going around on Facebook the other day. It was a Jackie Robinson signing his first contract with the Dodgers. I'm like, look look at that man. Oh my God.
Just
That's
dapper.
a handsome man right there, looking
So
dapper.
dapper.
Jeez.
That's what's so great about those old athletes, though. I mean, if
Dude,
you like, all those girls back there, all dressed to the nines, you
The
know.
old times, yeah.
That's
No
awesome.
such thing as a hoodie or anything like that. Like, no, man, I'm
No.
out there looking my best. I got my
Dude, I
threads.
love
I'm
that,
looking
man.
good.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Yeah. Now these guys, well, the hockey players are pretty good with it. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all
Yep.
rocking the suits. I don't know what the league's like attire rule is. I'm not even sure, but
I think it goes by team now.
Yeah, I
Does
think
it?
so.
Yeah, because I think
Jonesy's right.
who got it loosened up was it Arizona.
probably.
I think Arizona got their. It was one of them because they talk about it on Chicklets. That one of them got their dress code like loosened a little bit, and the guys are still like they're being able to express themselves and all that. Because I know Matthews wants to do the same thing. You know, he's big into that fashion style, and then the boys from Just Dishing, you know, they're all involved in that. So I mean, I can appreciate the suit and tie look. You know, walk into the arena. I do think it's a classic look, but then again, at the same time, you kind of gotta give a little leeway and be like, all right, we just talked about it, 25 minutes ago about the league being robotic and these guys having no personality. Right. So, you know, do you want your cake and eat it too? Well, if we want these guys to have personality and do stuff, well, let's let them express that, you know, kind of like,
you know what you do? Let them express it all they want. And then in like 5 years, the suit and tie will be back because that'll be fashion. There you go.
Exactly. It's they'll do what the NFL has done. Because I mean, again, the NFL does the same thing. They loosen up a bunch of things. These guys go out and they get all crazy. But then it circles back and they're like, all right, well, now dressing nicely is what you want to do when you go to a thing. They come out wearing all these fancy ass suits and they're looking fantastic. The difference is they got Jordans on with it, not loafers.
Right.
It goes into Jonesy, the great primetime quote. What is that again?
I wear the shirt every game day. It's you look good, you feel good, you play good, they pay good.
They
pay good. I have the Prime shirt I wear every game day.
I got a couple.
Let me ask you then: as a professional athlete, is that the advice that you give to every kid that comes up to you? As far as,
have you seen me, Scotty?
Yeah.
If you look like me, you're going to play good. That's kind of the way it rolls. Okay, that's the name of the game. I think like in every one of my contracts, I make sure the number 8 is what I'm going to be donning on my chest when I play on the field because there's just something about it. You know, you got to look good, and then you feel good, and when you're feeling good, you have no choice but to play well.
Right. And then when you play good,
here comes the dollars. You know, they're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid.
They pay good. It's true. No, I agree 100%. It's all about.
I mean, grammatically, it doesn't make any sense. It's just not how you want to say that. But I love it nonetheless.
Oh man, that is awesome. That's awesome. So Jonesy, how are we gonna follow your team on social media?
So they got Instagram and they got Facebook, and then I believe when we start getting into games, they'll be sharing everything on those sites, and then it'll probably be streaming on, I'm going to assume on YouTube, but there's also the the league page. So my team is it's at Ostrava Steelers for all their stuff on Facebook and Instagram. And then I believe they told me every game can be streamed and some will be on Czech TV. So the ones that'll be streamed, I'm pretty sure you guys will have access to it. I'm going to assume it's YouTube. Kind of like it was before Don back in the Poland days, get the link, check the Facebook, check the Instagram, and then they'll be able to, there you go.
Hey,
looks perfect. Yeah, that's them. That's the squad. So
I'm going to need a shirt or something.
Oh, dude, the logo's sick. I got a little welcome package ready for me when I arrive.
Yeah.
I was talking to my GM the other day, and he's like, I hope you don't mind. We're bringing like the cameraman and stuff for your arrival. I'm like, I mean, I'm going to look like dog shit. I'm going to be traveling for about 24 hours.
Right.
And he's like, nothing a beer can't fix. I'm like,
hey,
you're not wrong. You know?
All right.
No, I'll definitely try and get as much apparel as I can packed up into a box and just send it home and then have it dispersed to the illegal stick boys.
Nice.
I got a bunch of people that need some apparel. So I'm sure if I start playing well, the team will take care of me, you know?
Well, you know what? There you go.
That's the goal, right?
And the swag comes. That's all there is to it.
Right? Exactly. It's perks of the job.
That's
Saucy
right.
lettuce ripping up a check.
You already know.
That is awesome. Dom, give us one last update on the Ranger Leaf game. Is it still 3-2?
Let's see what we got here. As of right this second, we have 3-2. Got 8:40 to go in the second.
All right. And as far as our comments go, it's still 3-1 Laval with 5:40 left in the second period. Still lots of time for everybody's team involved. So, anyways, boys, that was all so much fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it.
If you're watching live, hop onto TNT right now. Watch Ryan Reeves score a hat trick.
And Jonesy, you are welcome back on this show anytime you want, my friend.
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully we can do it. I think we did a real talk. I zoomed in from Switzerland last time, so we'll try and figure something out where I can hop on from Czech.
Yeah, we'll have to try to have it earlier in the day here, though, so you don't have to stay up till 4 a.m. too.
Yeah,
I got experience staying up late. Clearly by the cup. Let's just do it when the Blues are playing one night.
We'll wait till the playoffs. How's that?
Or when the Mets are playing. Down and I watch the Mets game, and we'll like bitch and moan while we're talking on the pod.
So mad. Yeah, if we even play baseball this year.
Don't start.
Jeez.
Don't start. I'm not positive vibes, Tom.
You're right.
Oh, man.
Church coentology. I am a coentologist.
I am a cosmetologist. Exactly.
Positivity.
Jonesy, Josh says, thanks for the overseas hockey story, Jonesy. Love it and great show. Cheers. Thanks for watching, Josh. We really appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
And just so everybody knows, you can, if you don't know already, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, all under Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast. I'm also got the Instagram page going that I'm trying to work on. So my novice social media skills I'm getting there. I'm working on it. And of course, the website that's scrolling across the bottom there, martysillegalstick.com. We put articles up there all the time. Check them out if you get a chance, especially if you like hockey in the Mohawk Valley. So anyways, Jonesy, once again, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good luck in your upcoming season over in the Czech Republic. For Dom Real, for Scott Kinville, or I'm Scott Kinville. Boy, hammered that one at the end. Wow. Anyways, thanks for listening and watching. Yeah, that too. We appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll see you next week on Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast.
Boom.